I feel like we've mistermed bust and like what that actually means. But shouts.
I agree. I tweeted about that. I agree.
What's a
You
bust
tweet
for
it?
you
Nah,
guys?
you do be tweeting. That's true.
To
Allow it.
me, a bust is Anthony Bennett. That's a
Yes.
bust.
2013 draft.
It's LaRue Martin. Yes, it's
Hasheem
guys who
Thabit.
it's Hasheem Thabit.
Nicholas,
Yes, it's guys who are drafted
Julius
high
Beasley.
and stuck
and did nothing.
That's
and
a
did
bust.
nothing.
Was Christian Laettner a bust? Chill.
No.
Mm-mm.
He played 12 years, made the All-Star team. No, I don't think he was a bust.
All right, it wasn't a bust, but boy, oh boy,
He didn't pan out to what, considering what he did in college. He didn't pan out to what
was LaFrentz a bust?
Respect Ray LaFrentz. What the hell?
Shut out, Ray.
Bad. Respect Ray LaFrentz. Was Michael Olowokandi a bust?
Yes. Michael was good for a little bit though. Chill. He did have a couple good years in there. You know who has a sleepy known like connotation as a bust, but was good is freaking Andrew Bynum. He just wasn't what people wanted him to be, but he was a good player.
Far from a bust.
He was good.
Andrew Bynum was solid.
Yes, he was. Made the
okay,
All-Star
so
team.
more hurt than
Adam
bust.
West. You know who LaFrentz is.
How do you guys like if your career gets derailed by injuries? Greg Oden, are you a bust or are you just unfortunate? Or you both?
I think
Greg Oden's both.
No, he just got hurt.
Greg Oden because he just didn't play enough. But did Greg Oden play a whole season? He might have played one.
Well, what
season.
about Markelle
season worth of games?
What about Markelle
maybe
Fultz?
No, that was the Sixers' fault.
Greg Oden played 61 games one time.
I think you're more of a what if than you are a bust, but I think that you are a bust. Like, what if you would have held up? Well, you didn't.
Sam Bowie's a what if.
Yeah. What if you would have held up if you didn't? So
Adam Morrison was a bust. That was a miss. That was 100% miss.
Yeah, to be fair, he tore his ACL going into his second year. So
yeah, but he also he
wasn't very good his rookie year, but that doesn't.
He was the first. He was the first. Well, he was the 2000 version of Josh Giddey. Like, this is what we thought we were getting. Like a player that can be an all-star. He was a really good shooter. He was like a good playmaker, like relative for the era. Like, he wasn't like crazy. He was just a hooper. Like, he just didn't turn out though.
Yeah, I think the signs were there with that he wasn't going to be great. But for me, I think bust is reserved for people who just genuinely weren't good. Like, if your career gets derailed by injuries, but you were goods when you were available, or you were on the way to being goods. It's like, I guess you could be in the bracket, but like for me, there's a special place for like true busts, and I feel like we're getting away from the essence of a bust.
Yes,
Anthony Bennett is like that's what it is.
I don't know how he was
given an opportunity after opportunity, and they just were never good.
A first overall pick as a power forward who wasn't an elite athlete at UNLV.
He wasn't even the best player in that league.
I was like, he wasn't
even the best player in the Mountain West. No, he wasn't.
He was.
Now, to be fair to Anthony Bennett, I think it's obvious he never should have been a number one pick.
Right.
So
that's
like
fair.
he's a bust by circumstance, but he was.
But look at what Cleveland was without LeBron. Like, put all that stuff together. They didn't know what they were doing. Like, period, at all. They didn't know what they were doing. Now they fixed it a little bit with Kyrie, and then all that other stuff. They drafted Andrew Wiggins. Now Andrew Wiggins wasn't a bust, but he's in the Aaron Gordon like tier of like
high draft pick who never reached their potential. But they're good.
Andrew has been good.
He's been good, but not number one. But not good.
Well, but Ron, you remember what did they call him when we were younger? What did they call Andrew Wiggins?
They called him Canadian what?
No.
Canadian
Jordan.
Kobe.
They called him Maple Jordan. I mean, they called him Maple Jordan. Yeah,
Maple Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
We all thought too. Be fair, like when he was at Kansas,
I never really. But see, at Kansas, I didn't like Andrew Wiggins all that much. I didn't think he was all that spectacular. He, based on what I thought he was, he actually has been better than what I thought he was.
Bro,
he wasn't very high.
I wasn't high on him at all like that. But
I mean, at the time, a 6'6" wing though that like moved like that, it was
6'7". Me in the middle.
6'6", yeah, sir, 6'6", 6'7", whichever one, yeah.
But he's been very good. Like, just think about it. He in Minnesota, he averaged 20 what? And I know obviously
that was a bad
20. I know it could be an empty 20, but I'm just saying though.
He did average 20.
He averaged 20 for what? 3 straight seasons?
I want to say from year 2, but I'll check.
3 or 4 seasons, he averages 20.
Andrew Wiggins.
They're not that good of a team, but
his rookie year, he averaged 17, then he averaged 21, then 23 and a half, then 18, 22. And then the
Hey,
Warriors.
23 on 53.
He's an
at the
18
time.
and a half point per game scorer for his career.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Go to Golden State, you win a ring. Now he's in
All-star.
Miami. He's
Had a 40 ball.
in Miami.
Is Lonzo Ball a bust?
No, injuries, complete injuries. But he's not what his father sold him to be.
Yeah, that's what I think held Lonzo.
So
back.
he gets
we're not gonna give.
so Lonzo
credit
gets
for that.
Lonzo gets to escape bust because of injuries, but Greg Oden's a bust.
No, who said he's a
I
bust?
never
He's
said
not a
Greg
bust.
Oden was a
He's
bust.
not a bust.
Ron, my fault. Ron said he's a bust.
The reason why I said Greg Oden is a bust, and he's a what if too. I would say he's more of a what if than a bust.
No, you
When
know who
Greg
a bust is? Jared Solinger. That was a
No
bust.
way.
That was a bust.
How
He
long
was-
was Jared Solinger?
he was like,
he was- was he-
He
He was a late. I think he was
No,
like
who was
the
his
17th pick.
first round? Who was his point guard?
Didn't
Who
he
was his
go-
point guard? Chill. Was that D'Angelo?
I
That
don't-
wasn't D'Angelo. That was
No, that wasn't D'Angelo Russell. That wasn't Mike Conley.
It was
No, that he was with
the,
Oden.
the white guy.
You know who I'm
I hate
talking
to
about,
just
Ron?
say the white guy. It's not TJ McConnell, but TJ McConnell like
TJ
aircraft.
McConnell-like.
Aircraft.
Yes. Nah, bruh, Solinger, but even the way he was, man, at least he was a bust based on in college. People were talking about him crazy.
Right.
But maybe Jahlil Okafor fits that better.
I thought Jahlil was going to be a demon.
Jared Solinger was just too small.
And he was
to
a
big, but
big baby Davis
slow.
light. That's what he looked like.
That was the problem. With Jared
6'9",
Solinger.
like
He was
a true tweener. He was a true tweener, but
without the pop.
Yeah, so that was the problem. Derek Williams.
What about Nerlens Noel?
I mean, I could argue injury.
That's injury too.
Yeah, but
he came in with a torn ACL.
I think he got screwed with the 76ers too. Like I think
it wasn't a great
centers,
situation.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then
he was good defensively.
Contract.
He was good defensively. Offensively, it just never came around.
Oh,
is Markelle Fultz a bust? Is Markelle
No, bro. Yes. No.
This is the one we need to talk about.
No, but I think Markelle got screwed because he had some stuff happen up here that wasn't his fault. So I think like there were some things that like went on in his personal. And then remember, and then they changed his form too.
I need Markelle to go on a podcast after his career and tell me what happened with this whole situation.
He got the yips, Mars. That was it. He caught the yips. That's what happened.
Then I want to hear it from his mouth. I want to hear it from his mouth.
Regardless of what it is, we can't hold that.
I never.
But that happens to people though. Is what I'm saying.
It happens, but if it happens, then we have to hold you accountable.
But you can't control stuff like that though. That's what I'm saying.
I
Like Stephen A. Smith seemed to be very. Because he was there. He was, as I know this verbatim. I was Philadelphia Inquirer for 16 years. He seemed very, he wouldn't even talk about it. Like there are just some things that are like happening with him that like we're not going to bring up. And so I'm saying that for somebody that at that high to at least allude to the thing. There could be more. I'll say Mark. So I'm saying I just wouldn't put him there, but you can put him there based on projection. We thought he was going to be Mark. He was
you
25.
No idea how high I was on Mark.
He was a 25-5-5 dude in Washington, dog.
And they would go, yeah.
He was he was so clearly the number one pick to me, like so clearly. And I think we just got the like absolute worst case scenario, like not even the worst case scenario, like beyond the worst case scenario. Who could have foreshadowed that he would just forget how to shoot? That's even worse than what you thought could have been the worst case scenario. So it was just bad. I think.
Oh wait, Mars, let me ask you this:
Markelle Fultz works out. He's a justified number one.
All right. So now, Willie Cauley-Stein.
Hold up, though, Swiper. But before we move on to Willie, I wanted to stay on Markelle because he's probably the latest number one pick that just didn't really.
2018, you got
it's the
18.
DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah,
Markelle.
That's not a bust. He got a max. He got a rookie max. That's not a bust.
2019 number one pick was Zion. He's not a bust. I don't care what anyone says.
2020 was
and is not a bust. James Wiseman is, by the way.
Oh yeah,
James Wiseman's the real bust. He's a real bust.
But he did tear his Achilles. Though.
I want to stay on Markelle though. Is he a bust or is he a what if?
For me, he's a what if.
Yeah, I think he's a what if.
For me, he's a what if. Because I don't think you know how he was the next great god. Like you couldn't convince me.
Mars, you know I'm from. I wasn't living in Seattle at the time, but I'm from Seattle. UW is right in my backyard. I would watch games and would go back and brag to Ox. Oh, Ox, we got one. And Ox, you guys know Ox. Oh, he's not that good. Stop hyping him, Ron. I don't want to hear nothing about Markelle. And I was like, okay, he's legitimately that good. Mars, I was as high as you were. I was so high on Markelle that I actually classify him as a bust. Because I believe he was supposed to be that.
Man, Sam been on my
good.
top all day. Goodness gracious, bro. Get a job, bro.
Sam
Goodness
Gibson?
gracious.
Or something.
I just don't think Markelle's a bust personally, but I can understand why people would do that.
He
Thomas
was
Robinson.
He was meant to spearhead this
Petty.
era of guards, like the combo guard who could get a bucket, play defense, 7-foot wingspan, 6'5", score from multiple levels, get to the rim, handle.
He's not a bigger bust than Dragon Bender, though.
I hate to step in and interrupt this intense yap session that you're currently watching, but I just have to inform you on all the amazing, spectacular, fabulous, endless ways to play and win over at Prize Picks. Basketball fans, I know the season is just tipping off. Yes, I know this. But you know what that means? It means that you have an opportunity to pick your favorite players and their matchups that are the most thrilling, and you can win money from these. With Prize Picks, you can play daily NBA contests and test your hoop knowledge by choosing the player projections and every single stat line imaginable to make your Prize Picks and take home some nice hard-earned cash. Are you a rookie in the game? Don't even sweat it. I got the playbook for you right here. All you have to do is download Prize Picks, use promo code PANEL, and you will get $50 instantly when you play 5 here with Prize Picks. So what are you waiting for? Download Prize Picks, use promo code PANEL, and join me as we break down all of our amazing daily picks right here on the panel. Prize Picks. Run your game, control your game, win your game. It's easy, baby. It's easy.
Oh, that's a bust. Yeah, that's a bust. That's a major bust. Yeah.
Is he?
I like Dragon Bender too.
Is Dragon Bender a bigger bust than? I gotta make sure I get his name right. Skivili.
No, Nicholas Tidiskivili. No one. There's no such thing. Look it up, Ron. Look it up. Exactly.
Tidiskivili, the guy that
hold on.
Wasn't
number
he?
5.
He was like the 5th pick, right? He went to
number
the
5.
NBA. Hold on. No. You're not. No. We're gonna address this.
Go ahead.
Please.
We're gonna address this. What year was that? Was that 02?
Why is Nicholas Tahiti not?
They ended up passing on Amari Stoudemire for Skivili.
It was the Yao Ming draft.
No, it was 2. It was 2. It was Yao Ming
draft. The Yao Ming draft.
Jay Williams was not a bust, by the way. He just had a horrible motorcycle accident. Mike Dunleavy was not a bust. He just was a role player. Drew Gooden was not a bust. He was a good player. Nicholas Tidiskivili, okay?
Tidiskivili.
He played 172 games. I want y'all to know this. And again, if you're listening to this, there's no disrespect. He averaged as a rookie 3 points. He played 81 games. The very next year, he played 39 games, and then he had a whole bunch of other stuff. And then he played 23 more games. That dude played 81 games in his first year. The rest of his career, he played 91 NBA games after that.
How long
point.
was his career?
He was gone by like 08.
06.
Okay.
Phoenix. His career year, Ron, was his rookie year.
So why is he not a bust?
On the Nuggets?
He's a huge bust. He got drafted, Ron, just for context, Brody. He got drafted that year. So they took Nene. Thankfully, they got Nene Hilario later. So he went 7 that year. Amari Stoudemire was 9 that year. Caron Butler was 10 that year. You even had Jarrett Jeffries, who went 11 that year. Fred Jones, who I thought Fred Jones was good.
Fred Jones was cool.
I did.
Yeah,
like
Fred Jones got 14 that year.
He played 7 or 8 years in the league. I remember Fred Jones. I remember
his peak was the Pacers in the dunk contest. If you probably remember that. That was the highlighter ball, I believe, Chill, that they had that year, the Sprite year. But yeah, it was
in Los Angeles when the All-Star game was in Los Angeles in 04.
The 02 draft really wasn't that good.
No, it wasn't. So, but he was the worst of the worst.
It was not.
I looked to see why he got drafted. The year before he got drafted, according to the very limited sample size I can see, he played 17 games overseas and averaged like 4 points. So not sure what the allure was, besides the fact he was 7 feet.
That had to be it. He was 19.
He was 7 feet. He was 7 feet, and in the LBA, so the Italian league, he shot 40% from 3 on 2 attempts. So I guess the
prototype big.
Yeah, I guess the principle was, hey, 7 foot and can shoot. Now he averaged 1.4 turnovers to 0.4 assists, and averaged 2 rebounds. and 0.2 blocks. So once again, box score watching here. Not sure what the allure was in the first place, but
we had a Darko. People don't remember this. We had a Darko versus Nicholas square off. By the way, like that rookie year, and it went nowhere. It went exactly where you thought it was going to go. Nowhere. That was a big hype. It was a big European hype going into that year. Nothing came from that. That was a horrible draft. Oh, sadly, Emmanuel Mudiay. That's another one.
Man, I was sold on Emmanuel.
He had a couple solid years though.
I wasn't particularly high on Mudiay.
I was. He went to SMU, right? Or did
he played in?
He went
China.
overseas, didn't he?
Oh, he went overseas. That's right.
He was
That's right.
supposed to go to
He
SMU.
Played in China.
Yeah, that's right. He's supposed to go there. Yeah.
I just didn't like his feel for the game, personally.
Hey man,
but,
and forget all y'all, every single one of y'all. First off, that Derrick Rose, and then who went number 2 that year?
Beasley.
Yeah, he was not a bust. I'm sorry, I don't care what none of y'all say. He wasn't a bust. He was good.
Well, what kind of
Michael Beasley, the best college player I've ever seen. So, yeah.
Is he not? He can't be a what if.
What year was that, Ron? 2007?
He was in college in 07. He was drafted in 08.
Oh yeah.
Wait, hold on. State.
He came in a year after
basketball.
KD. Yeah, he came in a year after KD.
So that year, no,
he may have been better in college than KD.
No, but the best, matter of fact, the best college athlete was Bill Walker, dog. Because he went to Kansas State with Michael Beasley, Mars, and that dude was crazy.
Mars, you know about Bill Walker?
Matt, Michael Beasley is the best college player I've ever seen.
Mars,
ever, Mars?
Cool. But Mars, do you know about Bill Walker?
In them 4 months, that was it, Mars?
No,
that's
I've
it, Mars?
ever seen.
Damn, in them 4 months?
All,
that is nuts right
the best I've ever
there.
seen.
Anthony
Davis,
Davis,
tell me what my eyes seen.
Carmelo Anthony,
right? He was better than Anthony Davis.
The best I ever seen.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, all right, no problem.
What does that mean? How did you see it?
I went back and watched.
You didn't watch Anthony Davis yet?
I went back and watched AD. Cool. I want to see some offense. I don't know what to tell you. No matter how no offensive game. I watched Michael Beasley. I went back and watched Michael Beasley. I went back and watched Steph Curry. I went back and watched KD. I haven't gone back and watched Melo. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't gone back and watched Melo. I went back and watched KD. I went back and watched Steph Curry. I went back and watched Michael Beasley. I've gone back and watched Anthony Davis. I watched Zion Williamson. Michael Beasley is the best college player I've ever seen. That does not mean he's the best college player. He's not. Because I know there might be some advanced stats. There's things that I'm watching that I'm not analyzing objectively. I'm analyzing with the bias I have for Michael Beasley. But he is the best college player I've ever seen.
No,
and
Michael Beasley was special. At Kansas State, that was a special year. I'm giving you 30 every single, not just 30. I'm giving you 30 and 12.
Bro, I'm looking now, Ron. He has 39 and 11 versus Kansas, bro. It's just
I'm literally watching it on my other monitor right now.
I'm talking about
best college player I've ever seen.
Threes, mid range on the block, tip dunks,
bully ball,
everything.
Come on, man.
Step backs. It's everything that you see him doing the ones. That's what he was doing in Kansas.
And he was blocking shots too. If you want to factor,
yeah, he was playing. He was playing a little bit of defense.
So like, I don't know what he averaged, but he the best I ever seen. But I've made up.
What makes him the best you ever seen, Mars? What did Michael Beasley do in your estimation? Because when again, he was around. He came in a year before K. Just so you know, he came in a year before K. The year after KD. Yeah, he came in a year after KD. So in terms of guys in college, you saw Steph Curry. You saw Kevin Durant. You saw Derrick Rose. I'm thinking about college guys. You saw Anthony Davis. Yeah. You saw Cat. What did this guy do to make you think in these 4 months that's the best college basketball player I've ever seen? What the hell?
He was a man amongst boys, but with supreme skill. He was stronger than you. He was playing physical. KD liked that physicality. He was just like skilled, and the jumper was great. But Beasley could shoot from 3. But he didn't settle for threes. He was so strong. He was playing around the basket. He could attack you face up, post up, however you wanted it. And then defensively, he was active on defense. He was blocking shots. He was rebounding. I don't know how many offensive rebounds he averaged, but it felt like he averaged like 6 offensive rebounds a game.
He was just double. If I'm not
he was just everywhere, like everything. And I'm also heavily leaning offense here. Like I'm not talking about impact and what scales to the NBA. I'm talking purely just what I'm watching in college. I'm forgetting how I think it might translate to the league. It was just, I haven't seen someone better than that. personally. But I'm also making it abundantly clear I don't go out on my way to just watch a bunch of people in college. I'm not analyzing it the same way I do NBA guys. So I'm not saying I'm right. I'm absolutely saying I'm probably wrong. I'm just letting you know he's the best I've seen. And if I could go back and watch anyone again in college, it would be Markelle Beasley every single time. Every single time.
It was as special as like you go back and look at the highlights during that time. It was frenzy. It was Markelle Beasley mania. He was going crazy. He took college by storm. But also, I mean, obviously that year you had Derrick Rose, and then Kansas was very good too with Mario Chalmers and them. But I personally believed watching Markelle Beasley throughout that whole run and watching Derrick Rose that whole year. Oh, and you had OJ Mayo too. I thought that Markelle Beasley was the number 1 overall pick. I didn't believe Derrick Rose should go over him. From the production he was giving you, I want to say it was 26-12. From that production,
I'll look it up.
I thought Markelle Beasley was the number 1 overall pick.
I couldn't
Obviously, the Bulls got it right taking Derrick Rose, but
if Markelle Beasley ain't go to Miami, he would have been a great NBA player, man. You put a man with his type of mindset in a situation like Miami, that's disaster. 26 points per game, 12.5 rebounds, 1.3 steals, 1.6 blocks, 53% from the field, 38% from three, shooting three.
Oh my God!
He
was
also average
4 offensive rebounds a game, by the way. 4 offensive rebounds a game. Like, come on, he was doing everything. Like,
and that's 40-minute games.
Right, he was the first
low game, 35-second shot clock,
and he was averaging 31 minutes a game, and he did.
He's the first freshman in Big 12 history to lead the conference in scoring. No freshman ever did that.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, no freshman ever did that. I think he led the league in rebounding too. If I'm not mistaken.
We thought we were getting KD back to back. I think everything that was said about him was,
I think he led the league in rebounding too. But I mean, Christian Laettner. When I think about great college players,
I haven't gone back and watched Christian Laettner, so you're gonna have a larger scope than me.
No, of course.
But respectfully, I don't care.
I know that. I'm thinking about the best college basketball player that I've ever seen. I want to say Shaq. As much as I dig the big man, but Lenny Bias, I couldn't wait for him to get to the pros. Lenny was something different. I loved everything about him.
Vincent Yarbrough, that's another one too.
I couldn't wait for Lenny to get to the league. I just couldn't.
Best college player I've seen. I mean, nostalgia and truth is going to tell me Melo, because Melo was crazy freshman year.
I have to do some due diligence because I asked about that yesterday. I haven't.
About what?
My due diligence on Syracuse Melo. I haven't gone back to watch that.
I'm telling you, like, he ran through everybody, dog. He was a 20-10 player in the tournament, which was at the time, which was unheard of. Especially for a wing, like an actual wing, not a like a rebounding wing, but like a shooter, a scorer. I mean, Kemba Walker was crazy. That run that he had was probably the most magical. Zion was
got to shout out some of the college goats too.
Zion was a monster.
Zion was insane. But I got to shout out some real bucket getters. Now, you guys, just for a second, just forget their NBA careers and let's just remember college. I got to give Jimmer Fredette some love.
Jimmer Fredette was crazy at BYU.
Insane.
We're gonna give Adam Morrison that same love.
Adam Morrison, you for sure got to get some love as well.
Steve Blake was cold, dog.
He ain't in that same note. Steve Blake is not. No.
Who was the other one?
No,
there was another one.
There is another one. His name is Buddy Hield.
Okay, Buddy Hield was good.
Buddy Hield was.
What was
Buddy Hield was
nuts.
What was the Louisville guard's name? Not D. Mitch. Silva. It was a Silva.
Siva wasn't that.
That's the dude that broke his leg.
No, that was the other dude. Siva from Seattle. He went to the same school as Jason Terry.
Juwan Dixon. That's what it is. Hitty Hardaway. Juwan Dixon was cold at Maryland. Man, I like that so many people know ball in here besides Sam, because Sam is just a casual in the chat. Let me see. JJ Redick was crazy. He was in college. He was in college my entire. I think I was in middle school or younger than that. The whole time. I think I transitioned from elementary to middle school. He was still in college, and I thought, like, why is he still there?
I got another one for y'all.
Who?
Another person that took the college game by storm. I know y'all remember Dougie McBuckets.
Dougie
McDermott. Douglas.
I know y'all
Douglas.
Yeah.
Hello, Douglas.
Yeah. Let me see, Ron. Let's see.
Dwayne Wade was awesome too.
Yeah, but he wasn't.
So was Kevin Durant.
I wasn't that high on KD. I'm not gonna lie, y'all.
There's no way.
He
was high on KD.
The thing, The thing about KD is one.
Let's look at KD's averages real quick.
KD was
20, yeah, he was crazy, bro.
He was getting
26, 11, and 2 blocks.
And Mars, just so you know, that 26, that's good enough for numero uno in the country. He led the country in scoring that year.
Mm-hmm. And he shot 40% from 3 on 6 threes a game.
He was getting to it. I just didn't know if the shot translated like that. And
I think Shabazz obviously needs some love.
Could you imagine how?
Well, he tweaked some things with his shot, so you was somewhat right.
If they had NIL at that point, bro, like these dudes would have made so much. Because they played; these were like long-term college dudes too. Because KD obviously left early. Tyler Hansbrough was there for 4 years. He would have racked up.
He was there.
Shabazz.
He was.
I'm looking at it now, Christian. I'm looking at the list right now. David Thompson was crazy at North Carolina State. Mars. That's probably another one you can probably pull up and watch.
Also, shout out Blake Griffin too.
Blake was really nice.
Oklahoma be putting out prospects. Like you go to Oklahoma, you got an opportunity to get busy. And also shout out to their freshman this year, Jeremiah Fears. He's probably gonna be a top 10 pick.
Yeah, I think he declared.
He went off this year. But if you go to Oklahoma, you got a chance to get busy. You've seen Trae Young do it, led the nation in scoring and assists. You've seen Buddy Hield go there and he didn't have no leash. You've seen Blake Griffin go there. He went crazy.
Austin Reeves go there? Didn't Austin Reeves go there?
I think Austin Reeves was there for
2 years.
Austin Reeves went there.
Yeah, let me see.
By the way, Cooper Flag is also one of like the best colleges.
Definitely.
Yeah, people keep trying to underrate Cooper Flag, and it aggravates me really bad.
This makes me sad, dog. Emeka Okafor also 2 Mars was another college player that was like
they won a national championship his senior year. Yeah, he was awesome.
Let me see who else is on this list that y'all haven't mentioned already. Dwan Dixon, I'm only person that brought him up, bro. I thought he was the John Wall was another one. Shane Battier at Duke. Trey Burke, remember Trey Burke, the Michigan days.
Trey was nice. Trey
was
and
cold.
Hardaway.
Frank Kaminsky, that Frank Kaminsky run.
Frank the Tank.
Kaminsky.
Frank the Tank.
Frank the Tank. Him and Sam Decker were on that.
Yeah.
Sam Decker was
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And he didn't turn out to be much, bro. But Evan Turner, bro, at Ohio
Are
State.
you and I'm glad you brought that up. Are like you say that these guys are bust and they don't turn out to be much. So if let's say because the average pro career is 4
human population, they did amazing.
Well, if the average pro career is 4 years, I'm a top 3 pick in the draft, and I end up playing 12 years.
Yeah, that's good. That's great.
Was I a bust?
No.
That's why I don't know how I feel about Kwame Brown.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, Kwame Brown played 15 years in the league. He played 15 years.
He was just never a great player, but he was always
never.
He was.
But you know what I can do? You know, I rebound. I can finish around the rim. I'm durable, and at that time it was still a big man league. So he wasn't good in pick and dive. He wasn't gonna pick and pop.
I'm sorry, Kwame falls in one category and one only.
Ty Lawson,
Ron, Ron. To play 15 years though, Ron. 15 years.
15 years is
damn.
He played 15.
No, I think he played like 12 because he was gone by like 2014.
And he got his pension. He got his NBA pension, so he was good enough.
What pick was he?
1.
Numero uno.
But I don't like.
What? Well, he was a baby.
It's hard. It's hard. Like I don't. It's weird for me to say I don't hold the pick you were against you, but like sometimes I don't. Like if Zachary Risache is never an amazing player, I'm not gonna be like he's a bust because he was a number 1 pick. Sometimes it's like someone has to go number 1.
Right.
Like, not all number 1 picks are created equal. Does that make sense?
So if James Wiseman plays until 2030 and he produces
12 years he played.
He produces exactly what he produced 12. This year. Exactly what he produced this year. 17 minutes a game.
Did he not play
2 points or 7 points? If he did, no. Last year, my bad. He only played 1 game this year. Last year. Mm-hmm. So let's say he comes back from injury. He plays 6 more seasons until 2030. That would total 11 total seasons for James Wiseman. Is he a bust?
Kwame Brown's a bust. He convinced me. There you go. Yeah, James Wiseman's a bust. Yeah, I want to tell you. Yeah, okay. You got it wrong. Good work. Like you was the number 1 overall pick. You were supposed to be
at least a starter level player for your whole career.
Kwame started, right?
Starter level player.
Yes, he did.
I mean, you ain't start because you're not starter level. How long was he? He started like a third of his games.
I mean, I'm saying like it's
okay,
players on the Nets and the Wizards.
You got it.
You know,
yeah, Kwame probably does. Yeah, probably. I don't think he was a terrible player. I'll say that. I don't think he was terrible. I don't think he was very good.
Another one for the list is Jerry McNamara. He played with Melo.
Yeah. Jerry McNamara.
He shouldn't be mentioned in this group, but he was.
What you mean, bro? Like, no, I'm going through the list.
Was Jerry McNamara? Was he better than Warwick?
Hakeem? In college,
who was also on that Syracuse team.
He was more important. No, he was more important that run.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
No, chill. He was the only shooter they had on the roster. The only one. He was the one making all the big threes.
Guard, no question about that.
They had no other shooters except for him and Melo. Like Hakeem Warwick was an elite defender. Again, I like Hakeem Warwick because he went to Memphis. I thought he was going to end up being somebody. Like, but he just wasn't that kind of player. Like, he just wasn't. Like, he just didn't have it in him. But I'm going through this list.
He was a dog.
We brought up Chris Webber on Michigan, 19-10.
Yeah, what Jokic doing in college?
Respects. At Harvard.
Troll alert.
Joakim Noah. We did not bring him up.
So we didn't bring up none of that Florida team.
Al Horford, Corey Brewer, all of them. Drew Timme. Shout out Drew Timme.
Luka Garza.
He
was Luka Garza is another one of the best college players I've ever seen.
Sure.
He was fire.
And I knew that wasn't going to translate to the league, but he one of the best college players I've ever seen.
Hey, Mars. Shout out Candace Parker's former husband.
No, man.
In college?
No, he was not. No,
in college, he was good. What are you talking about?
Was he better than Cherokee Parks at Duke?
What?
No, he wasn't.
Sheldon Williams was good in college.
Sheldon was all right.
Was he better than Cherokee Parks?
How many rings did he win? He won 1 or 2?
I don't know, but he was good at Duke. I don't know what Sheldon's talking about, dog.
I know he was, and so was Cherokee Parks.
No, but I don't think just for context, y'all, I had a huge crush on Candace Parker. When I saw who she was married to, I was shocked. So like,
what that got to do with anything?
I'm just saying. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you. Like Sheldon was good because I'm telling you, Sheldon was a really good basketball player. I didn't think he was that good.
He's so good that
he got
able to overlook certain things.
Oh, so he got bonus points for that.
100%. That teenager, Candace Parker. Yeah, every day of the week. 100%. That definitely got your point. Caron Butler was another one, y'all. Let's see who on this list. Andrew Bogut went to Utah. I forgot about that. Did you like Obi Toppin at Dayton?
Loved Obi Toppin at Dayton.
I'm
on record. I said I thought he was Zion but could shoot. I was wrong.
So that's what I thought. I'm on record. I think that if COVID doesn't shut the season down, Dayton winning the national championship that year. I think they winning the whole thing.
Ooh.
I do. I think they were that good.
Year, dog.
Yeah,
I was so high on Obi.
They were that good. I think that they were that good.
What pick was Obi Toppin in the draft? 8
to the Knicks.
Chill. Who was better? Who was a better player? You or Sean May?
Sean May was
all right though.
That's the dude. That's the dude from.
Sean May was better than me.
I did not.
That's the dude from North Carolina, right? The big guy.
Yeah, Sean May coaches somewhere too right now.
Yeah, he was better than me.
Where does he coach right now?
I don't know, dog.
He's either in the. He might be with the Nets. He's either in the league or he's at UNC. But he's coaching them.
Sean May, he's on what you call it. He's on he's on North Carolina coaching staff.
Okay.
Hey, man. And then my last one I'll say, Ron, is Sharon Collins. Another one I was completely wrong about. He was a point guard at Kansas. I thought
I remember Sharon. Kansas came with like 4 back-to-back point guards. Because remember Devontae Graham, they had Sharon Collins, they had Mario Chalmers, and then it's one more than
what's the Frank
he played for the Kings.
Frank
Mason.
Frank Mason. That's right.
Kansas is good for putting out a point guard who doesn't really pan into the league, but is All-American.